Hi everyone, and welcome to a new Mew Mew Blog Thingy. Today we'll be finishing up Volume 1 of the manga in comparison to the anime with Chapter 4. As stated in the previous video, Chapter 3 ends right when Ichigo and Minto find out that Retsu is the rumored ghost, while in the anime, this was about halfway through the second half of Episode 3. Everything from Mew Ichigo and Mew Mint fighting Mew Lettuce, to the scene of Mew Ichigo tickling her is exactly the same in both the anime and manga. As stated in the last video, the anime showed that Quiche was observing Ichigo and Minto and left during their fight with Retsu. In the manga, it was actually Ryo, who mentions to Masha that Retsu's negative emotions is what triggered her transformation and amplified her powers to a violent state. Then both the anime and manga show Retsu's first time working at Cafe Mew Mew, but while the anime only shows her trying on her uniform, the manga shows more. Ryo explains that Retsu's animal is a finless porpoise, and then she accidentally drops a teapot on his foot. Ryo, trying to hide the fact that it hurt, tries to encourage her. Then the manga shows Retsu's struggle at working at the cafe, including the running gag of her always breaking plates. The anime implies that Retsu does this, but it was only shown once in episode 21. Retsu then starts gaining a little more confidence when she's assigned to take customers' orders. The scene then shifts to Deep Blue giving orders to Quiche to investigate the Mew Mews. This is somewhat shown in episodes 2 and 3, both having Quiche's face mostly obscured. After Retsu gets the job at Cafe Mew Mew, the anime immediately goes to the scene where Quiche steals a kiss. In the manga, this doesn't happen until the end of Chapter 4. After the cafe and alien scene, we are suddenly at an amusement park where Ichigo and Aoyama are on a date. This happens in episode 4 of the anime, but under different circumstances. In the manga, it's just a random date on one of Ichigo's day offs. In the anime, due to it taking place after Quiche kissed her, Ichigo goes through half of episode 4 trying to avoid Aoyama since she's too ashamed to face him. Aoyama then manages to find her and asks if she wants to go to the amusement park. She declines, but Masha later leads her there and the date is on. After that, the only thing the manga and anime have in common with their date is that they go into a building with hardly any lights and get separated for a short time. However, in the anime it was a haunted house and played for laughs. In the manga, it was a nocturnal animal exhibit, and Aoyama, who is already feeling some anxiety for reasons he didn't explain, immediately grabs her hand as soon as he found her and left the building. He apologizes and Ichigo wonders to herself why he was nervous in the first place. I have a theory about this, but that's for a future blog. Anyways, the tension is broken when Booling suddenly appears, performs tricks in front of them with a bunch of cute little monkeys, and asks for a tip. Ichigo tries to politely refuse, explaining that they didn't ask for a performance in the first place. Booling then tries to guilt them with tears. Ichigo then decides to give her something to make her stop crying. Booling looks to see what she got, only to be upset that she was given candy instead of money. Ichigo then goes off to buy her and Aoyama something to drink, showing once again manga Aoyama mooching off her. The anime equivalent to this scene happens in episode 7. The biggest difference is that Ichigo is by herself when Booling gives her performance, since Ichigo was running errands for the cafe at the time. Also, Booling doesn't have any cute monkey friends in the anime, and Booling's guilt-tripped tears didn't happen until after Ichigo gives her the candy. Booling then tries to win her over by making a shark pop out of a hat, scaring Ichigo so much that her ears and tail pop out. Booling then gets excited when she finds out that they're real, and pesters Ichigo to get her to teach her how to get cat ears too. In the manga, Booling uses a mask to scare Ichigo while she's getting drinks for her and Aoyama. Booling does get excited about Ichigo's cat ears, but doesn't get overly obsessed about them. Instead, the hectic moments get interrupted by the aforementioned Quiche stealing a kiss from Ichigo scene, which, as I said, happens at the end of episode 3 of the anime. The biggest difference being that in the anime, Ichigo was walking home with Masha when it happened, while in the manga, Booling gets to see it. In the anime, Quiche leaves right away after he kisses her, while in the manga, he remains, since the next chapter immediately goes into a fight scene. And that's it for this comparison and the end of this Mew Mew Blog Thingy. If there are any Mew Mew topics you want me to talk about, put it in the comments below. Tune in next time where we'll start the comparisons for Volume 2. And if you think the anime was all mixed up with their episodes compared to the manga, wait until you get a load of Chapter 5. Since I'm not going to bring this up in the main videos of this series, I wanted to mention that there is one thing that the anime changed that I completely agree with, and that is the designs of the parasite aliens. In the anime, they're these jellyfish-looking things that the aliens conjure up out of thin air to make chimeras or make things go boom. They're capable of movement, but don't seem to be sentient. The manga, on the other hand, had to give them a face. And not just any face, the cutest-looking faces you could ever give a jellyfish! What were you thinking, Ikumi-san? Making them that cute makes me feel sorry for them. Look how scared they look when Masha's about to eat them. Or this picture of one of them locked in a tube while waiting to be experimented on. The aliens are the antagonist, but who are the real monsters here?